What's going on, YouTube? Crobat for the win here, and you know what? I'm bringing you yet another battle, and this one is against mgswarrior2 on YouTube. I'm continuing with that fun little Garchomp team, where Garchomp is a star because it's mixed and stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna start with a Jirachi, C-type with a Gliscor, and that's not a great matchup for me, so I switch out and I go into this thing, this Landorus, because it has hidden power ice. Now, I go for the sub, knowing that I outspeed, in the off chance that he goes for like a Swords Dance or a Toxic. He did go for Toxic, so that worked out very well for me. Now, I'm not sure of this thing's moveset. It must be, well, obviously now I know it's a Baton Passer because he just went for it, but obviously I don't know what its last move is, so I'm going to have to wait to figure that out. Now, he's going to go into Starmie, which outspeeds me, unfortunately, and gets a Scald off. This is a defensive Skarmory or something. And he actually lives my sheer force life boosted earth power, so that's kind of unfortunate. But I'm going to go into the Hacks God Jirachi now, which can take Scalds just fine. And he gets a crit and still doesn't do that much. He unfortunately gets the burn, but that's not that big of a deal because honestly Jirachi's not really going to be attacking anything. Yeah, it has Body Slam, but really it's not meant to do attacking. So I'm going to take this opportunity to set up my rocks because those are really important. As always, like, rocks are just about the most important thing you can get up. So I'm going to let him go for the Earthquake now because I'd like to see what he might do. I figured Jirachi wouldn't be too useful from here on out now that it's burned anyways. So now I could get a safe switch into Garchomp, and I figured, you know, I could get a Draco off. But no, this thing's still a Sandin size, even from the last battle, and it ends up, well, missing the Draco. So I do go for the Fire Blast this turn after he set up a sub, just because I didn't want my special attack to be lowered. And unfortunately he's going to Baton Pass into this Starmie, and that outspeeds Garchomp for sure. So I'm going to go into Tentacruel because Tentacruel can take Scalds, Ice Beams, or anything like that. And I'm thinking because this is a defensive one with Scald, it probably doesn't have Thunderbolt. Unfortunately, he gets to go for the Recover here, which isn't cool, but you know, that's not the worst thing he could do. I decided to set up a layer of Toxic Spikes here, only because I like to force him to Rapid Spin. I don't know, I kind of felt like, I don't know, I just did it anyways. So I knew it'd force him to Rapid Spin while I get to go for a Scald, hopefully to get a burn. And, no, I don't get it. That's kind of unfortunate. Now, gonna get some leftovers recovery, and he's gonna withdraw here because he knows he can't do anything to Tentacruel. He's gonna go into Deoxys Defense, which is really good. Like, this is a good defensive wall. So I go for a Scald and don't get a burn, and I can't stay in. I'm gonna switch out, and I'm gonna go into Caesar. He's gonna go for a Taunt, which would have been an okay play if I stayed in, but I didn't. So he knows that I'm gonna Pursuit, so he just stays in and goes for the Spikes. Pursuit actually doesn't do all that much. I was kind of surprised by that. So he's going to get, in these 2 turns, he got a layer of Spikes and Stealth Rocks, which is kind of bad for me. But I did KO that really good defensive wall, so that's not too bad either. Now I'm going to go back in a Tentacruel, hoping I can get an, what's it called, a Rapid Spin up, as he goes for a sub, which is, well, that's kind of unfortunate because I have to break it now. He's going to get the Swords Dance off, and that's not cool at all because this thing could potentially KO a Pokemon of mine, and I know I just have to get that sub out of the way because I know my Trachean, which is Choice Scarf, can have a field day and just go for the close combat against this thing if I can break the sub. Thankfully, Tentacruel was able to do that, and just to add icing on the cake, kind of getting a burn with Scald. Not like it really mattered, but you know, whatever. He ends up going for Rock Slide, which is Stone, no, not Stone, which is Rock Gem boosted. I mean, it really didn't matter that much because I live, but that's whatever. I'm going to go for the Rapid Spin. You know, maybe get a crit KO. No. So the burn's going to kill it anyways. I figured why not. Now, he's going to go into this Mence here, and I decided I wasn't sure what kind of Mence this would be, but I figured, you know, I'll just go for the Stay In. That's a wonderful move to go for. And now I know he's going to switch as I send in Landorus because I got the Hidden Power Ice to scare him away. Now I'm going to set up the sub again. This time this Starmie should be at a low enough health where an Earth Power should kill it. Yeah, sorry, I got a little bit of a cold, but Now, because I'm sorry. It did about 90% last time, I'd say, 95 maybe. So definitely that KOs now, and it did. So I'm gonna go into Scizor against this Lucario, predicting the extreme speed. If he went for the close combat, that would not have been great for me, but I'm very glad he went for the extreme speed. So I see he's Life Orb, which is kind of important. Now I'm gonna go for the superpower, not wanting to over predict. I mean, I thought he'd probably go into Gliscor, but then again, what else am I gonna do to touch a Gliscor? Not really that much with a Scizor. So I'm going to go into this thing because I'm pretty sure, well, I know now, his only attacking move is Earthquake, and Toxic for that matter. And now I'm going to set up a sub, predicting him to go for the Baton Pass. So I knew he was probably going to go into Immense here, which is honestly fine. It's behind the sub, but I know I outspeed. He's going to break my sub second. So that means I'm more of a threat to him than he's a threat to me. He goes for the Fire Blast just to break the sub, and obviously at that low of, well, no, it's not really about health, but Salamence is a special, pretty good with its special attack. It breaks the sub. So I'm just going to go for the Empire Ice, not looking to overpredict. I figured he'd probably switch, and you know, I probably should have went for the Earth Power in that one. But, oh well. You know, I figured I had Trachean to run through his team anyways. And now, I'm going to go into it, but then I'm going to pull a double switch, and I'm going to go into Garchomp here, predicting him to switch back into this Gliscor, because this thing attacks from the special side and can KO Gliscor, because, you know, Gliscor is a defensive wall, not specially defensive, and that is why I run specially, no, mixed Garchomp. That, well, it's one of the reasons why anyways, because I can break through physical walls like that. Now, I'm going to give my Salamence up for Death Fodder. No, I'm going to give my Garchomp up for Death Fodder. What am I talking about? Giving that up for Death Fodder here, get some Life Orb damage on it, and now I can just send in Scizor, go for the Bullet Punch. I thought he'd probably switch here, but I knew it would do some decent damage to Lucario anyways, and it looks like it'll be a 2-hit KO. He goes for the extreme speed, predicting that, and after Life Orb, it definitely is a 2-hit KO. So, he is going to go down to the Bullet Punch, and now he goes on Immense, which, it gets the Intimidate off, but I still think a Bullet Punch will do a decent chunk, and it kind of does. I mean, I guess. So he's going to go for the Fire Blast, and he's got about a third, maybe now after Life Orb, he has a fourth of his health left. And I think I just have Terrakion left, so I'm going to go for the Close Combat. I'm pretty sure it'd KO, and it does. I didn't want to risk the Stone Edge miss, so I did go for it. Thankfully, it KO'd. So that was a good game. mgswarrior2 on YouTube, so he has a pretty interesting channel. He posts some gaming videos, if I'm correct, so you go check his channel out. And thank you for watching this battle, guys, and please rate, comment, subscribe, and peace out.